Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to Talk IPL review, and we have a lot of other stuff to talk about as well. A lot of action has happened in the last 1 week, as always, and we've had the race to playoffs becoming very exciting. Some of the bottom ranked teams are coming and toppling over the top ranked team, which always is the case in the IPL for the race to playoffs. And once again, we don't know what's going to happen the next week, who are going to be the top four. As of now, the only confirmed team looks like Mumbai Indians, and rightly so, they deserve to be on top. But I think it's going to be a tricky situation for the others who are lingering in the next 2 or 3 positions because, they can't take it too easy. Sunrisers and, the other guys, Delhi Capitals can't take it easy as well because they've lost 3 in a row now. So let's see how it goes. Yogesh, what do you say? What's happening, man?
As usual, I think right when you think some teams have been knocked out, they find fire to fight back. And I'm sure it would have been nice to see that maybe a few games earlier, and this could have been a more open IPL than we've ever seen.
Yeah, again, yeah. Sid, what's to do with Kings 11 Punjab, man? They're kind of, Chris Gale has instilled some kind of magic in them, it looks like.
I think, even before the start of the tournament, I think it was Anil Kumble who actually said that, Chris Gale will have a bigger role to play as far as Kings 11 Punjab is concerned, a mentorship, kind of a role. And I think that's what, probably he has done. He has actually not batted at, his favorable position, which is opening the innings. He has come at number 3, which means that, KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal, maybe Mandeep Singh have got that extra cushion to go after the bowlers. And I think at the very same time, he's very much involved in the decision making. I still remember that game against Sunrisers Hyderabad when Kings 11 Punjab was, I would say, they were all on the cusp of losing. But somehow, Tim, Maxwell and all, they are all a part of the leadership group. And somehow, I think they have actually instilled that, believe that, that yes, despite of losing those, initial matches in succession, they have won 5 matches in a row. And I think, him being there and, playing 2 good knocks, I think one against RCB and I think one against KKR, has somehow, hopefully instilled the belief that, yes, they can go the distance.
So, Mahesh, is KL Rahul trying to do a Dhoni with Maxwell like Dhoni did with Watson? Trying to keep him in the team and wait for that one big game at the fag end of the tournament to fire?
See, I think it's not a great idea in that case because if you play 14 games, I'm sure you will play at least in 1 or 2 innings. But the thing is that if you look at the last weekend's matches, Mumbai, Delhi Capitals, and Royal Challengers Bangalore were number 1, 2, and 3. All of them lost in the weekend matches against the lower teams. It just goes to show that there are certain teams that are slowly getting to the form that they had to be probably at the start of the tournament. It's good that the Mumbai Indians have qualified because they played some good cricket right through the tournament, and that's why they are in. But I think the fight is going to be for the 4th spot. It's going to be as of now, it looks like that the Kings 11 Punjab seems to be the team that looks to be hot in form and could probably be the 4th team. But it's not going to be easy for them too.
Yeah,
absolutely. Adding to what Mahesh also said, I think apart from Kings 11 Punjab, Sunrisers Hyderabad could also make the cut, if they win their last 2 matches against RCB and Mumbai Indians, because they're 88 win over Delhi Capitals. It's actually, improved their net run rate to a great extent. So yes, that could be one of the factors. If both Kings 11 Punjab and SRS, assuming the fact that they both finish on 14 points, say that, Kings 11 Punjab, win maybe today and lose here, remaining game against CSK. So yeah, that net rate could be the major factor.
I think speaking of that, Yogesh, I was about to come to you. Sunrisers Hyderabad. How good was that innings from Saha, Wriddhiman Saha?
Brilliant. I think people don't give him too much credit for his T20 game, but this is not the first time Saha has played like this. If my mind goes back a few IPLs, I think he played an absolute winning hand. So he's very much capable of playing these firepower innings. I think somehow I think people get into typecasting players, and maybe he's typecasted as that test player, and so his T20 game isn't given sort of due recognition. But he, all said and done, I think he's a compact player, very solid technique, very good on the eye, and so was I don't get surprised by these things, to be honest
Hmm.
with you, because
Hmm.
the pedigree is
Yeah.
always there. So
Yeah.
given the right, environment and the right time, you will see these players flourishing. Like nobody would have ever doubted that if you
Correct.
give Chris Gayle a chance, he would come and do what Chris Gayle does. It's a bit like that. I think, yeah. Once people get into Test squad, somehow
Yeah.
they just get labeled as that long form specialist. But these are weak
Hmm.
players. I mean, end of the day, fundamentally, if you look at it, right?
Yes, and I think Sunrisers, if you ask me, are coming into their own now. I mean, that's what they're known for. They love defending totals. They love, bowling second, and I think it's pretty prevalent. And Rashid Khan, how can we not talk about him, man? I
Venu,
mean,
but you have to also say the dropping of Johnny Bairstow in the last
Yeah,
match.
yes, that was interesting. I mean, I was a little taken aback. I was very surprised. So yeah, I mean, of course, that you can only play four foreigners, but then I think the balance of the team had to be looked upon when it came
I
to
think it was a
dropping
very
him.
good decision at the end.
In hindsight,
right.
yes, but when it happened, I was a little surprised.
Correct.
I must admit. Yes, and I
First,
think yeah. So
I think Jason Holder, who actually had bowled in those 2-3 games that he has played in,
yeah,
that
yeah.
could have been one of the factors because he's someone who can bat a bit also.
Yes.
I think you are understating by saying bat a bit. The guy has a double hundred to his name in
Yeah,
Test cricket.
I'm really sorry,
Yeah,
he can bat.
yeah,
The most important thing I think is Jason Holder's experience of shepherding the slightly inexperienced West Indies team and helping them, punch above their weight. So
correct,
uh,
Right.
somebody like him is an invaluable asset inside the
correct.
team. I mean, I know Bairstow is a great batsman, but Bairstow
Hmm,
hadn't produced the results that
hmm,
Hyderabad wanted him to on a consistent
hmm,
basis. So then,
hmm,
it becomes a bit of a trade-off in terms of what do I really want at this stage of the tournament.
hmm.
So they found in Holder, I think, somebody who can add a value on two counts, maybe
Hmm.
three actually. Somebody who can bat, bowl, and also his experience and sort of mature head that he has will be
Hmm.
helpful in these times, I think.
Correct. Our friend Anuj says that Virji Saha must have surprised himself with that knock. Yep. Okay. All right. So, Mahesh, what was the highlight from this week? What do you feel was the really critical game-changing moment, or the game that really was etched in your memory?
So to me, one of the innings that Sanju Samson played along with Ben Stokes, I think was a very good, very interesting innings because
Hmm.
because Samson did exactly what we've always been talking about, giving
Yeah.
himself a little time and then actually playing his range of shots, and they
Hmm.
stitched a beautiful partnership between him and
Hmm.
Ben Stokes. Just goes
Hmm.
to show that Sanju Samson is yet not ready to actually shepherd a team. He needs
Hmm.
somebody experienced on the other side, probably somebody like
Hmm.
Ben Stokes or
Hmm.
Kane Williamson or somebody very experienced who will
Hmm.
be able to tell him what he needs to do and how he needs to do. And I think that's the
Hmm.
reason why they won that match against, I think they defeated Mumbai Indians, right?
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
That was a very good
Yeah.
innings from Sanju Samson. I thought
Hmm.
that was a very disciplined innings, and I think
Yeah.
that would have helped his confidence a lot of good.
Agree. Absolutely. And how about Ben Stokes, man? Siddharth, what do you feel? In that innings, we were waiting for that to happen in the IPL. We know what Ben Stokes is, but we were just waiting to see this side of Ben Stokes in a tournament like this.
I think before that innings, he hadn't hit a six in the tournament so far. But
Wow.
when he actually came to the party, it was
Yeah.
something that RR needed the most at that very
Hmm.
moment. Because a
Hmm.
loss, I think, at that moment would have actually all but confirmed their them being knocked out of the tournament. So yeah,
Correct.
about him stepping up to the plate, which is something that
Yes.
we have seen in the last year, be it the World Cup or be it the Ashes.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah, I won't say it was coming, it was due,
Yep.
and luckily
Yep.
it came at the right time.
Absolutely. Yogesh, what do you feel? What was your highlight from last week? Something that is in your memory.
I think I'd say probably Pollard's innings, not Pollard, sorry, Hardik Pandya's innings.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
That
absolutely. Yeah.
just fantastic. And
Yeah.
what I really like about him is the way he times the ball, isn't it?
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
for somebody who actually looks quite skinny, the power
Yeah.
he packs in his shot is phenomenal. And
Correct.
it comes through,
Hmm.
getting into the position at the right sort of time. So I think with
Yep.
the amount of time a batsman has, when he kind
Yep.
of comes onto the off stump and then is in
Hmm.
line to flick the ball over left side and then
Yep.
get runs. You know that here's a guy who's got
Yep.
a phenomenal ability.
Yep. Yep.
Just see that from Hardik Pandya and
Yep.
probably that's why Mumbai Indians believe in him so much because
Yep.
look, I mean, AB de Villiers gets talked up a lot and so does Chris Gale, but
Hmm.
with experience and time, I do believe Hardik Pandya can do things that will make people drop their jaw quite a lot.
Hmm. Hmm. I think what I like about Pandya is, his range when it comes to hitting. His technique is very uncomplicated when it comes to hitting the ball. He kind of opens up, clears his front leg. And if it's straight enough, he'll hit it on the leg side. If it's wide enough, he'll hit it over extra cover or long off. So that's kind of very uncomplicated. He knows what he's doing, and it's not just mindless slogging on the leg side. So that's something which we have seen from a lot of players whose hitting range is very limited. It's either cow corner or long on, or square leg. But here it's like a player who's actually using the V to his advantage and, using his complete bat swing. And I think the swing is something which generates power, right? The way his hand comes onto the ball. That's something which is quite interesting
The
to
bat
watch.
speed is very good.
The speed, exactly, right? So I think the flicks that he played, a couple of them in the previous game yesterday, I think one of Morris, which went for six over square leg, that
The very
was
next
that was
ball he got out.
amazing. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the flick shot, not the long on shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was something which was amazing. And that's pure timing, right? That's not power. He knows how to use the
He's
pace of the ball.
gifted.
And
No doubt about that.
exactly.
He's gifted. He's a gifted batsman. Yeah.
Great. So let's take our focus a little away from the IPL, guys. There's one more thing which happened this week. There's a lot of talk going around it, obviously. So the Indian team's tour to Australia. There was a selection that happened, and some interesting names, interesting faces, new faces, some interesting faces that got ignored as well. And it's an understatement to say that, obviously, Surya Kumar Yadav, whether that's a hot topic of discussion or not, we have seen it on social media. We have seen it on the ground yesterday, what happened. So why don't you take us through it, Siddharth? What do you
I
feel?
think
Should he be in the squad or no?
I think, see, one thing that about Surya Kumar Yadav that I really feel is that India's top order is stacked. And at the
Yep.
very same time, in the middle order, you have the likes of Shreyas Iyer and Manish Pandey. The big
Hmm.
question that arrives is that Surya Kumar Yadav does deserve a place in India's, squad,
Hmm.
in the ODI
Hmm.
and T20 squad. But where does
Hmm.
he fit? That is the biggest
Hmm.
question, according to me. And I think at the very
Hmm.
time, there is this one of the moments that was actually the highlight for me, in this week's IPL so far. I would say that just a little bit out of context. So there has been a lot of talk about Virat Kohli coming to Surya Kumar rather than sledging, and at the very same time there were people on social media who were actually saying that maybe he will do the right thing. So I'm not going to come in defense of Virat Kohli. I'm just going to say one thing that I think
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong that Virat Kohli did. Sledging banter is a part of this game. It is going to happen
Hmm.
because as a player, if I am being sledged, I'm going to do this two things. One, either I'm going to give it back, or at the
Yeah.
very same, or for the second, I'm just going to avoid it. And I think Surya Kumar Yadav did really, really well by avoiding it because I think he really knew that
Yeah.
it was not the time to just get into that moment, get into a heated discussion, and maybe
Hmm.
have a rash shot. He could have who knows, had he thought out, Mumbai would have
Correct.
lost. We don't know. So I think he
Absolutely.
did the really right thing here. So I think that yes, coming back to the topic, Surya Kumar Yadav does deserve a place in India's squad, but where
Hmm.
does he fit in the 11? That's a big question.
Yeah, I think honestly, I don't want to look too much into that thing which happened. Virat Kohli isn't playing for India right now. He's playing for RCB. Surya Kumar Yadav is playing for Mumbai Indians. He's trying to
Absolutely,
win a game.
absolutely.
Surya Kumar Yadav is trying to win the game, and they want to do anything and everything in their team's favor to kind of rattle the opposition. Right? So I won't look
Right.
too much into that, but agree. Yeah, I kind of agree. Mahesh, do you feel that instead of Sanju Samson, could they have selected Surya Kumar Yadav in the ODI squad or the T20 squad?
Okay, my thing is that his competition, like what Sid said, is
Hmm.
Manish Pandey and Shreyas Iyer.
Hmm.
So at the end of the tournament, I mean, if you look at the number of matches that Surya Kumar has won for the Mumbai Indians,
Hmm.
that might actually be a bit more than what Shreyas Iyer has done, or probably even Manish Pandey. Manish Pandey, in fact, has also played very well for the Sunrisers this time around. I mean,
Hmm.
apart from Bairstow and Warner, it has always been
Yep.
Manish Pandey. So it's a tough call, but
Yep.
he might not have made it to the 11. I agree, he
Yep.
would not have been able to make it to the 11, but I
Yep.
think he would have been a good player to carry along with you, just in case one of them gets injured,
Hmm.
to push him
Hmm.
in. Uh,
Agreed.
Sanju Samson's case, I wouldn't know. If Rahul is going to keep wickets, then I think Sanju Samson doesn't find a place in the team.
Hmm. Yogi, what is interesting is Rishabh Pant is not in the white ball setup, but he's a part of the test squad. So please explain to me how things have changed over a period of time when he was that swashbuckling, young kid who could just tong the ball everywhere and, play in white ball cricket. Of course, he was successful in test cricket also. But it's just that it's baffling to see that he doesn't find a spot in white ball cricket, but he finds a spot in the test side. So are we looking at another Virender Sehwag in the making, a champion test cricketer, whereas in the shorter formats, being ignored?
Is that to me?
Yeah, Yogi, to you.
I mean, if Pant actually turns out to be successful Test cricketer like Virender Sehwag, India will be massively thankful to him. I think it's something that we have to carefully wait and watch because these are
Hmm.
still very early days. I'd still
Hmm.
say. I mean,
Hmm.
last time when Rishabh Pant went to Australia, he was doing all right, but
Yeah.
with time experience, he tested even more.
Hmm.
And look, I think in this IPL, we see Rishabh Pant hasn't been quite as effective as we've seen in the past. So maybe going
Hmm.
by form, selectors would have thought that maybe he needs to sort of get away from that limited
Hmm.
over for
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe he discovers his mojo. You can get him back in. Now, the thing is, the key difference I would say in T20 cricket and Test cricket is this: Test cricket allows you time. And
Correct.
it allows you to sort of, stand in and actually lead 6 balls. And then,
Hmm.
if you can score for 1 or 2 balls, and you can play to your strength then. So it becomes a
Hmm.
lot of temperament. While in
Hmm.
cricket, the time is really not with you.
Yep.
It basically forces you to bring out the entire repertoire of skills and
Hmm.
unfold them at a rapid speed. And
Hmm.
imagine if you get it slightly out of groove,
Hmm.
a batsman will find it really difficult to kind of keep surviving T20 cricket. Whereas you would have seen also in the past many players who were struggling for form in Test cricket. If you
Yep.
go and actually say, I'm going to be here for half an hour, doesn't
Yep.
matter how many times I get beaten, doesn't matter
Hmm.
what happens around me, doesn't matter
Hmm.
what people in the slip are saying to
Yep.
me. And
Yep.
after that, you start middling a ball and you start getting a couple of boundaries and you start feeling yourself at home. Now, going to Australia is a challenging job. And
Yep.
even I'm the selection really been thinking of having somebody who's actually been there, done that, and knows what the game is like.
Hmm.
And
Good
kind
point.
of put that tape in him to see
Hmm.
if somebody can do it, probably it could be fun. I mean, look, you could
Hmm.
also argue, can somebody like Sanju Samson not do what fun
Yep.
could have, similarly,
Correct.
similarly,
Hmm.
somebody who can see cricket. But this is
Hmm.
where it is.
Hmm.
If you in the past, you want to give somebody an opportunity and say,
Yep.
what, T20 cricket, this game's not been there, but that's not a problem. We know what you
Correct.
can do as a batsman, and still a mighty
Hmm.
fine batsman.
Correct. I think that's a good point. And Mahesh, I agree with Yogesh that he did reasonably, not reasonably, in fact, really well in Australia last time around, especially in Test cricket. Took a lot of catches, did well in keeping, scored some crucial runs in the lower order, and that amazing century at Sydney as well, right, in that partnership with Jadeja. So did not do much wrong there. And plus, he showed that he had that mental toughness and, to take on the Aussies and, take on all the banter and the sledging as well, right? That also mattered a lot. So I think, yeah, and probably from where I can understand right now is that they're looking at a strategy of playing Rishabh Pant in away tests and Vridhiman Saha in home tests. That's what I feel, given the keeping skills that he has. What do you feel, Mahesh? Is that the right
Okay.
direction?
So last time around, I am sure that Rishabh Pant had a very good series in Australia.
Hmm.
Remember, he didn't have to keep wickets for a long time because the Australian middle order, the top order, did not survive for too long. It
Hmm.
is when you have to keep wickets for 2 days.
Yeah.
If Warner gets into runs, if Smith gets into
Hmm.
runs, if Labuschagne
Hmm.
starts scoring, and if Rishabh Pant has to keep wickets for probably 140, 150, 160 overs.
Mm.
I don't know how good his physical condition is
Yeah.
to come out and bat and score runs.
Correct.
So last time around, I agree that he didn't have that problem because they didn't have Warner and Smith to bat, so they didn't score too many runs. Now, the first question when you make a test team is, if you're going to select a wicket keeper, is how good is a wicket keeper? I mean, his wicket keeping skills. See, we all know what happened in 1990 at Lords when Kiran More dropped Graham Gooch and he scored 333 runs. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can't drop a catch. So you have to be very good with your gloves. So my thing is that I will always take the best wicket keeper. And Wriddhiman Saha is very good with the bat. It's not that he's just a pushover by any stretch of imagination. So for me, in test, it has to be Saha. Probably in a one day and a T20, it could be KL Rahul, it could be Rishabh Pant, Sanju Samson. We've got a lot of options there. But for test cricket, you have to go with the best wicket keeper because you just can't make a mistake there, right? You make a mistake there and you had it.
And the tough part about being a keeper is that only the mistakes get highlighted,
Correct. It's like an umpire.
Exactly,
umpire
right?
and wicketkeeper have one thing in common. When they make mistakes, people realize that they were there. Otherwise, nobody realizes however good you are, you never get the spotlight.
Yeah, it's such a mundane job, right? Ball over ball, you keep collecting. But once you drop a ball, everybody says, "Oh my God, what happened there?" Yeah.
It's actually the job. I mean, the only job in cricket that keeps you involved all the time.
Right.
All the time. I mean, not a single ball you're out of action. I mean, a batsman hit it and you might be out of action then, but I think
it is a thankless job, Yogi. It is a thankless job.
50% of the chance is that the ball is going to come to you. 50% of the chance is that the batsman might play it, but 50% of the balls come to you. So if he's going to keep wickets for 540 balls, if we presume that there are no wides and no balls, 270 balls he has to gather. That's a lot of work. 540 sit-ups. So imagine the kind of strain that the wicket keepers go through. I mean, humongous.
Right.
Okay, Siddharth. So, how big a loss is Ishant Sharma? I know that he's been exceptional in Australia. Plus, we have a pink ball test. He was a 5-wicket haul holder in the last pink ball test that India played in Kolkata. How much will we miss him in Australia?
I think it's going to be a big loss because one thing that with Ishant Sharma we have seen in the last 3 to 4 years is that he has not only been able to contain the flow of runs, not just, but at the very same time pick those crucial wickets. We saw how good he was in England in 2018 and in Australia, the very same year. So yes, I think it's going to be a very, very big loss because he's someone actually the spearhead of the attack. He knows he's also someone is known to give good advice to Virat Kohli, being the senior placement. So yeah, it's going to be a big loss. And I think at the very same time, if he's not around, there's a little bit of void in that bowling attack because then you have Mohammad Shami and then you have Jasprit Bumrah, who actually just came back this year from a stress fracture. He was actually a little bit inconsistent in New Zealand and against Australia, but now I think the IPL is coming back to form, and really don't know how his body is going to hold up as far as test cricket is concerned. He did decently well against New Zealand in those 2 tests, but I really don't know how well his body may take the figures of the test cricket in Australia, given that both Warner and Steve Smith are back. So yeah, it is actually a big void, and it's going to be very interesting to see who gets the nod ahead of Ishan. Maybe it could be Umesh Yadav, or it very well could be Navdeep Saini, who has actually been making those giant strides as far as
that was my next question to you guys. Do you think Navdeep Saini is ready for Test cricket? Now that Ishant may not be there, I mean, so do you think he should be replacing him? Mahesh, what do you think?
See, Ishant Sharma, the thing is that we're going to miss his experience. He's bowled brilliantly in Australia. Remember the way he got Ricky Ponting out in the first series in 2008? I mean, because of his height and already there is bounce, it can be steep bounce. So we're going to definitely miss him. Like what Sid said, we're going to miss him quite a lot. He's actually the captain of the bowling side, as we call it, the captain of the bowlers kind of a thing.
He brings control to the bowling.
Yeah, and he also keeps advising the youngsters.
Correct.
Okay, so it's going to be a big loss. Saini, I think it's good to unleash bowlers in Australia because they've got pace, right? I mean, if somebody's got pace, you tell them to go out and bowl fast. Remember what Imran Khan had told Wasim Akram. He said, forget the nose, forget the wides. Just go bowl fast and get the batsman out. That should be the brief to all the fast bowlers when they're bowling in Australia.
Agree. Oh my God. So, Yogesh, we have another surprise selection in the test squad, Mohammad Siraj. What do you make of that?
I don't know. It's that's the one that bit I found really baffling. So yeah, I mean, I would find it really hard to say, why he's chosen in the squad. Perhaps going by the current confidence his skipper might have. I mean,
Agreed.
that's the best I can come up with.
I think I would have been.
He might not also. He might not.
Yeah, he may not play, correct. Yeah, but I was actually, if you ask me, I mean, it's a bit of a gamble, but I would have preferred maybe a Deepak Chahar as a leg-to-leg replacement for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Guy who swings the ball. I don't know. I mean, Siraj, I'm nothing against him, but I'm just thinking that using Bhuvi's analogy here. Yeah.
Of the two, definitely from what we've seen, Chahar is the more skilled bowler, has better control. He can bowl quick as well. And if you just go by the token that you're going to choose people who can bowl quick, but then let's also know that it's not the kind of thing that Australian batsmen get intimidated by. You also need pretty good control, because otherwise, if you just bowl quick and then you don't get your long side, you could become camp fodder. I mean, like Warner can put you to pieces fairly delicate. And you'd also have to see how does the player respond to the environment that you play in. If you start getting changed by Warner, and if the crowd is telling you about your skills when you're fielding at the boundary rope, I'm sure that's not the piece of feelings.
All right. And Mahesh, how about Varun Chakravarti? Surprise selection?
Yeah, but no, I don't know whether it's a surprise selection, but I like what I saw. And in the last couple of matches, I also like Ruturaj Gaikwad. I think he was playing very well. Okay, I mean, see, he's a very compact player. Maybe he was a little unlucky. Like what yesterday Dhoni said in the post-match was that he came in and he got COVID, and normally you get treated in about 10 days. He was unfortunate to be in bed for 20, 21 days. He didn't have the best of starts. He scored 2 zeros. But the confidence that Dhoni had on him, I think he justified it. 2 beautiful innings. I thought yesterday's innings was equally good. I mean, he seemed to be, the match awareness was there. I was very, very happy with it. The same with Varun Chakravarti. Varun Chakravarti came last time around with that aura of being a mystery bowler. He played only one match for the Kings 11 Punjab, and he was dropped from the side. But I think when it came to Kolkata Knight Riders, of whom I'm very disappointed as a team, I think they should have done much better than what they actually did. But I think Varun Chakravarti bowled some very good overs. The thing is that probably he must have spent a little time with Sunil Narayan, so he must have learned a little bit of mystery from him too. But I think it's a good selection, and maybe he won't play too many games in Australia, but it's just being there with the team. You learn so much. It's like the IPL. You might not play a single game, but you keep interacting with all these foreign players, with the international stars, the Indian stars, that you learn a lot. See, the learning is very important, and I think Varun Chakravarti will learn a lot in this Australian tour. Remember, this tour is not going to be easy for India. If India thinks that it's going to be very easy to beat Australia, no way. Australia has got a gun bowling attack. Stark has not played the IPL. He's fresh. He's fresh as a flower to come out, and he's going to bowl really quick. Okay, Hazelwood is there. I mean, they've got a very good set of bowlers. So it's not going to be easy for India. So let's hope that Varun Chakravarti gets at least a game, probably at Sydney, where he might be able to do something good for India.
I think we need to find out which spark plug did Ruturaj Gaikwad use for this performance. On a lighter note, all right. I think I'm a little surprised that Kuldeep Yadav doesn't find a place in the T20 setup. I mean, I know that Washington Sundar is really good. Chahal has been good, but yeah, I'm a little. I don't know. I'm a little worried for that guy because I thought that he was a really good prospect. Him and Chahal, Kulcha, that was a combination that was working really well. And
He
I
did not
hope
even feature in most of the KKR matches. That
exactly,
shows his
exactly. That's
confidence
what.
level must be really low. And that's
Correct.
been one of the reasons why KKR has not done well also. KKR
Exactly.
still is not sure who's going to open the innings, who's going to come at 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
when you've got 2 matches left in the IPL and if you're still not
Hmm.
sure about your team composition of the batting lineup, then
Hmm.
it's really bad for you.
And plus, what's happened with Naren, with that, suspect bowling action and the injury to Andre
Yep.
Russell, it
Yep.
hasn't actually.
Correct. Agree. Yep. Okay. So that kind of wraps up our Indian team discussion, and we'll quickly move on back to the IPL. So we are juggling between the two. So good, bad, and googly, guys. Yogesh, why don't you go first?
I think the good was something I mentioned. I think Hardik Pandya's innings, but equally I'd say Rituraj Gaikwad, really good batting, and great.
Siddharth.
I think for me, the good was actually Surya Kumar Yadav's innings. And I think, there is still, I would say, there's a little more of Googly that's yet to come in the IPL.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Mahesh, what about you?
The good has to be Bumrah. Bumrah is bowling like a king.
Yep.
Like always.
Like always. See, the fact is that bowlers normally don't get their due. In a 4-over match, anyway, he's going to get hit all over the park. But I think he's bowling brilliantly. And that is one of the reasons why the Mumbai Indians are doing so well. Initially, Bumrah was not doing well. Mumbai Indians were struggling. The moment he started getting wickets, the entire team looks to Bumrah to go out and do something special. And he does that time and again. For me, his performance has always been the good part for the IPL.
Yep. What could have been the bad the last 1 week, guys? In the same order, Yogesh.
The bad. I think Kolkata's continued mismanagement of resources.
I was about to say the same thing. Yes, hit the nail on the head.
It's difficult to say whether it's batting, bowling, or I'd just say probably mismanagement of resources overall. And like you said that if you struggle for first 4 games, 5 games, it's understandable. But if you continue to struggle after 12 games, then probably the mindset within the camp isn't quite right.
Yeah, I mean, I find it baffling that Rahul Tripathi, after doing so well, still doesn't get to open the innings, and he's being pushed around in the middle order or at number 3, number 4. I don't know. I mean, he's really baffling, right? So it's not good for the environment plus for the player in himself, right? So yeah. What do you say, Siddharth?
I think the bad for me was Sunrisers Hyderabad's inability to finish games. I think before that game against which they won, Sunrisers Hyderabad they won a couple of games. They were very much close to finishing. It was against KKR also, and I think it was against. I think there was this one more game against Kings 11 Punjab that we talked about earlier. Sunrisers Hyderabad, had they been a little more consistent, had they been a little more, had their middle order contributed a little more, their position would have been a lot more different.
Mahesh, quickly.
I think the capitulation of RCB against the Mumbai Indians from 130 for 2 to from 160 in 20 overs. I think they had the game well and truly in their control till then, and then it just changed. And at 160, there was no way they're going to challenge the Mumbai Indians.
Yep, agree. Okay, so very quickly, guys, Googly. Yogesh.
Googly. I'll have to put my head around it. So I'll probably ask Mahesh and Siddharth to go first.
Okay, Sid, you go ahead.
I think this IPL has been a googly in the last 7-8 days. We've seen a lot of twists and turns. And I think we have more to see because there are still those crucial games coming ahead starting from today with Rajasthan Royals and Kings of Punjab. So I think I don't know. I don't have a specific moment, but overall this tournament has been a googly.
Yep. All right,
For me, the googly is Pollard getting rid of AB de Villiers.
Oh,
That
yes,
came
that
from
could be.
nowhere. That came
Hmm.
from nowhere. That ball did not deserve a wicket to begin with.
Hmm.
Pollard coming to bowl that over itself was like, I mean, that was a huge gamble
Hmm.
they took, but I think
Hmm.
it worked. And from there
Hmm.
onwards, the slide began, right? I mean, they
Yep.
just started accelerating. So
Yep.
Hmm.
for me, that was
Agreed.
a googly.
Agreed. Yeah, I think this is actually true when it comes to leg spinners, and I've heard it a lot of times. No matter how good your leg spinner is or your googly is, sometimes the wicket taking ball is a long hop or a full toss. That's how it works. Yeah. So yeah. All right, guys. So cool. So let's hope for some great action this week, and I'm assuming that by the time we meet next week, we'll get to know who the top four are. so,
Of course.
so yeah,
Of course, of course.
yeah, and no more surprises and googlies.
We'll even have a one finalist if I'm not wrong. If we meet on
Okay,
Friday. Yeah.
okay,
And I'm hoping, Venu, next week is going to be a bit like that musical chairs game, with
yeah,
3 rounds. One team starts getting
yeah,
omitted from the playing field. So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
see
correct.
if we
Correct.
final four by next Friday or something.
Yeah,
So
elimination
if
game.
today if Rajasthan loses, I think they're almost out of the tournament. Is that so?
They don't have a choice. They have to win every game now. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's going to be a
I
good
think.
match from now on.
Yeah, I think for them it's more like a knockout tournament now. So win every
Yes.
game and be in the hunt. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your views, and look forward to seeing some action today, over the weekend, and the next week. Look forward to catching up once again next week. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.